Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. The whole concept of bipartisanship, cooperation between the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, there he is, what's up Chuck, and the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans in the United States Senate, is the entire hope of cooperation between the Republicans and the Democrats a mirage? Is bipartisanship a mirage? Well, according to Chuck Schumer and some Democrats, maybe bipartisanship is a mirage, and they are now considering using the process of reconciliation to pass all future economic agendas from President Biden, including the American Families Plan, which is a $1.8 trillion plan, on top of the American Rescue Plan, on top of the $2.25 trillion American Jobs Plan. Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time, everyone. My name is Dr. Chhoda. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You'll learn more about my journey. I was able to live the American dream. I want to help you live the American dream, and I want to help you overcome the cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now. I want you to know that I was able to overcome this cycle of poverty that you see on your screen, and I will help you do the same. For me, as the creator of the Ignition Time channel, it's not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat, I'm not Republican, I am American. We are all Americans first. And this channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, the economy, as well as our money. Let's take a look at this brand new headline from Politico, everyone. Democrats lean closer to going it alone again on Biden's $4 trillion spending plan. Remember, the $4 trillion spending plan is a $2.25 trillion second major, the ambitious plan, which is the American Jobs Plan, also called the Infrastructure Plan by the Democrats. And on top of that, we have the $1.8 trillion American Families Plan that the president is now starting to push through his joint session in front of Congress. Here's an interesting comment from Senator Richard Blumenthal, who's a Democrat from Connecticut. He said that if Republicans don't budge from their $568 billion counter proposal, the infrastructure counter proposal, within a week, he would take it as a very powerful signal for President Biden and the Democrats to go solar. If they go that route, this is reporting from Politico, Democrats can use the protections, can use the process of reconciliation to push through as much as they can along party lines. In other words, whatever the Democrats want. This is what Blumenthal said. He said this, and I'm quoting, "The train is leaving. Democrats would get a lot more than we would by moving unilaterally than we would by chasing our tail around and hope for this bipartisan mirage that is just over the horizon and keeps moving over the horizon." Folks, what Blumenthal is saying is that it's an imaginary situation in which the Republicans will come closer to the Democrats. Pretty powerful comments, folks, from one of the lead Democrats in the United States Senate. Another important senator, Senator Bob Casey, who's a Democrat from Pennsylvania, who's a close ally of President Biden, said that he had little hopes for the Democrats to reach an agreement with the Republicans on the big, bold agenda that the Democrats have. He predicted that the likeliest path forward will be one large package, all done through budget reconciliation to work around the United States Senate. Folks, it looks like we're going to see possibly $4 trillion. We're talking about $2.25 trillion infrastructure plan, the American Jobs Plan, and $1.8 trillion, the American Families Plan, potentially also pass through reconciliation. Here's a quote from Casey. Democrats don't have to pass something just so that we can say, well, that piece over there was bipartisan, and wait for the pat on the back. He said, people want us to get big things done, and if that means we can do it in a bipartisan fashion, that's great. I just don't have confidence that that's going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comment section below from these clear signals from the Democrats about what is likely and what is not likely with bipartisanship, and the fact that it's likely to be a mirage, as you can see, a mirage in the future. Let me know what you think. So what does Chuck Schumer have to say about this bipartisan mirage? Here's a direct quote from the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. "No decisions have been made. We will look for bipartisanship wherever we can, but the number one goal is the big, bold plan along the lines of what President Biden has proposed." So folks, it's very clear where the Senate Majority Leader stands. I believe this is a clear signal that the Democrats are not going to wait around for that bipartisan mirage that they called it. They are likely to use the process of reconciliation for $4 trillion. Yes, you heard that right. $4 trillion in additional spending. So What do Republicans think about this? Let's check out an opinion from Shelley Moore Capito, who's a Republican senator from West Virginia. Remember, West Virginia is the same state from where we have the Democratic senator, the conservative Democrat Joe Manchin. So what did the Republican senator Shelley Moore Capito say? She said, and this is very important, she said that it was mind-boggling. She said the Democratic proposals were mind-boggling, but she said that the administration was still talking to her and she hopes that those talks can continue. Let's actually check out the exact quote from the senator and hear from other Republicans like Senator John Cornyn, the Republican from Texas. Let's start with a quote from the Republican Shelley Moore Capito from West Virginia. She said the two sides haven't agreed on anything yet. She said they are still in active conversations on the Republican plan and with us. She's talking about the administration. She said if in the end they circle back around and use the budget reconciliation vehicle, I can't stop that. Basically, she's saying, hey, I hope they come around. Let's check out what Senator John Cornyn, the Republican from Texas, who, by the way, is a close ally of the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, said. He predicted that if the Democrats can move without the Republicans, they will. And he said if Democrats cannot keep their 50 senators unified, maybe they'll come back and talk to Senator Capito and those of us that are interested in doing a bipartisan deal. So, folks, this is a clear signal from the Republicans saying that if they are not united, in other words, if Senator Joe Manchin, the conservative Democrat from West Virginia, if Senator Kristen Sinema, the Democrat from Arizona, do not vote along with the rest of the Democrats, that would mean that the reconciliation proposal, the reconciliation bill to pass the American Jobs Plan and the Americans Family Plan. Remember, the American Jobs Plan is a $2.25 trillion infrastructure plan and the American Families Plan is a $1.8 trillion plan. We're talking $4 trillion in additional spending. If the Democrats are not united, then in that scenario, in that case, what the Republicans are hoping for is that the administration comes back to them, because the administration will need Republican votes in order to be able to get anything done. And if you thought that was interesting, wait till you check this out. Another indication of how these negotiations are unfolding in DC. Folks, this is another episode of the DC Comedy Hour. So yes, these are the ongoing DC negotiations. Here's an important comment from Senator Chris Coons, who's a Democrat from Delaware, who's a close ally of President Biden. Okay, so this is important. This is what Chris Coons said. He said the administration did not send over a bill. They sent over a policy agenda. Everyone says you're going to split the bill, and I'm like, what bill? There is no bill. So basically what Chris Coons is saying is that this was a menu of proposals. This wasn't an actual law. This wasn't an actual negotiation. In other words, this was the opening gambit, the opening salvo, and now it's time for both sides to work together. That's what Senator Coons, the Democrat from Delaware, is suggesting. And folks, in one final sign that the Democrats are considering moving forward without the Republican Party, even though in public they're saying we want bipartisanship, in a clear indication that the whole bipartisanship component could be a mirage. Here's an important comment from Sherrod Brown, who's a Democrat from Ohio. He's a senator, so he's a Senate banking chair, Sherrod Brown. He said he assumed his party would have to use reconciliation just like they did with the American Rescue Plan, and he predicted that this would happen, the $4 trillion package would happen by the end of the summer. I'll leave you with this quote from Senator Brown. I'm always trying with Republicans, but they've shown no real good faith on this. What they want to do on infrastructure and families is just short of pathetic. Wow, doesn't get clearer than that. So that's it, everyone. That is where things stand right now. Is the entire bipartisanship aspect of these negotiations a mirage? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want you to know I appreciate you. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Please subscribe. That really helps out the channel. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.